Hello, and welcome to coverage of the Vaughn's Knockout Championship for the Custom Standard format. I'm Caillou, and today we're going to be watching the Winners Round 2 match between Doombringer, otherwise known as Reuben, who is playing Black-Red Izamergence, and Zoo, who is playing MonoGreen Aggro. So we're going to see Zoo open up with a Sahai Wayfarer, which is essentially probably like the premier green 1-drop in the format after Machine Oracle, which is also 2-1, but it also acts as a mana dork if you have more life than your opponent. Meanwhile, Reuben is going to respond with Tormenting Voice, discarding Izalith, Great Flame Witch. So essentially, while Zoo's deck is a pretty standard aggro deck, Reuben is playing a control combo deck, where the main combo is reanimating Izalith with Reemergence, which is a 1-black spell, which returns a creature from your graveyard, gives it haste, but it returns to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. So what you do is, you reanimate Izalith, and then you use her Despair ability, which basically you sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step to get a powerful effect. In this case, searching your library for a Demon card and putting it onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. This allows you to reanimate for very cheap, given a Reemergence, but also have like a lasting board impact, which is usually the downside of Reemergence. So this matchup is basically just going to be Reuben trying to like keep Zoo off while he like still attempts to combo off. Of course, this is hurt by some of Reuben's cards like Dark Soothsaying, costing life, which can definitely be a problem. However, has interaction in the form of Shock and Journey's End here. And since Ashen, you never want to have like your demons in your hand because they're usually way too high a cost to like hard cast, so discarding them with Journey's End really doesn't hurt. And yeah, also having Shock is very good for Ambushing Alligator because it would otherwise have a Hexproof versus Sorcery Speed removal. So you're going to swing in with both Sahai Wayfarer and Ambushing Alligator. I think, yeah, Reuben's just going to shock the Ambushing Alligator. Main 2 doesn't have a third land to be able to play this Wandering Warden, but can run out the Machine Oracle and nothing else, I guess. I'm surprised. I guess probably actually wants the ramp for next turn to be able to like run out a Wandering Warden. Wandering Warden is also important because it's one of the few things that gets under or like gets over Reuben's wipes. For example, this top deck Vibrant Rapture. So casting it for X equals 1, this gives all creatures -1/-1. So kills both Machine Oracle and Sahai Wayfarer. And then Reuben now also has 2 mana open because of Vibrant Rapture's Petal Generation ability. This lets him cast Journey's End to kill whatever Reuben plays, which is probably going to be this Wandering Warden. Or could go like Digital Witness into like upload something. But yeah, no. I think running out the Wandering Warden makes sense. And probably on end step, Reuben's going to crack these petals. Or could be debating whether or not to crack the petals to try and like hard cast one of these. But I think it makes sense to like crack the petals now, kill Wandering Warden. But I guess it is not going to do that. Duress is reasonably dead in this matchup usually because Zoo's only non-creature spell, as far as I know, is Explorer's Reward. But fortunately for Reuben, Zoo will have that one copy of Explorer's Reward, so it will grab something. Unfortunately, of course, Digital Witness will just be able to get it back. So Digital Witness is like very strong versus grindy control decks like Reuben's. And in general, I think Mono-Green as a deck has a better matchup versus Black-Red control than traditional Mono-Red, because even though Mono-Red is more explosive and can punish Izamerge's like stumbles in the early game, what really happens is like Mono-Green has enough to like outgrind the minimal interaction that Reuben's deck has. Also has like 4 toughness creatures are like hard to deal with because Vibrant Rapture is a -X/-X wipe. An additional issue is that like the other wipe in the deck, which is Flamestorm, costs 1 red, which Reuben doesn't have, and also deals 3 damage to each creature. So right now that won't do much versus Zoo's board. So Reuben's just gonna grab a land. But yeah, this is a pretty bad position. I feel like on end here, Reuben should just Journey's End, kill something, like kill the Sapient Sergeant for sure, because that's putting a 2-turn clock on you. Oh, I guess didn't mean to actually grab the Shadowed Pillar. But, okay, so is binning Rahoke's Ruiner and a Vacated Bar. So yeah, not good hits. I think right here, Reuben probably just wants to Journey's End, kill the Sapient Sergeant. Is maybe trying to build it, because probably maybe didn't spend the petals, because if Reuben hits one more mana, which Reuben actually can do, by like, well, actually, if Reuben plays Journey's End this turn, takes the 3 from Wandering Warden, then next turn plays Urn of Heroes, and then the turn after that can play Ashen Persecutor, gain some life, hopefully stabilize. So I think Reuben probably, so it comes to a trade-off actually, like, do you want to try and hit red, or, so, oh, actually, he's just going to play out the Urn of Heroes. So this gives Reuben access to 7 mana next turn, so can cast the Ashen Persecutor. And it's just going to bin another Isolith with Urn of Heroes, like ETB ability. But this is kind of risky, because Reuben's just going to eat 9 damage next turn. It's going to be down to 2. I don't think Zoo has any reach or pump spells, which might be why Reuben feels content in doing this. But also, like, even if, so if Reuben takes, if Reuben just takes 9 here, instead, is Reuben going to try and cast Journey's End? Okay, and Zoo is going to Assault Wandering Warden. It turns it into a 4/5 with Indestructible. I guess in response to this, Reuben is going to Journey's End, killing the Sapient Sergeant or the Wandering Warden. Okay, on the Sapient Sergeant. So we'll only take 4 here. But then going back to what I was saying before, even if Reuben can play Ashen Persecutor next turn, it might not be enough depending on how wide Zoo can go here. But he's just going to play another Wandering Warden. Or no, he's going to play, it was actually going to, I thought because Zoo tapped 3 mana, I was going to play Wandering Warden. But actually plays a focused Sahai Wayfarer, which focus basically lets you cantrip on cast by paying more mana. So Reuben is just going to pay 7, play Ashen Persecutor, probably grab the Wandering Warden, gain 3 life, and stabilize that way. So yeah, stealing the Wandering Warden, going to go back up to 10. And because Ashen Persecutor is bigger than anything Zoo has, Reuben can just keep it up as a blocker and then buy some time until Zoo has enough creatures for an Alpha Strike. Sporeflow Protector here is really damaging, though, for Reuben. Because what it does is it allows Zoo to be able to exile Reuben's reanimation targets from Reuben's graveyard. And that's kind of Reuben's main out of this. Other than, like, drawing a Flamestorm and then killing the Sahai Wayfarer plus Sporeflow. But no, it's just top-decking lands. And then Sporeflow Protector's ability, generally it's going to let Zoo like build up his board even wider. And then that way Zoo can eventually build up to an Alpha Strike, especially with like Reuben shocking himself right now to cast this Dark Soothsaying. I don't know if it was worth, like, I guess keeping up the red to try and hit okay, he's going to grab a Revel. But even in response to Flamestorm or like any sort of burn, Zoo can like activate Sporeflow Protector's abilities, Germinate, and then pump Sporeflow. And while Revel is good, I'm not sure, because like you need to hold mana up for it to actually be useful. He's paying 5 for, I guess also binned an Incendiary Revel with the Dark Soothsaying, because I guess Reuben must have hit 2, and so can play the other Incendiary Revel from grave for 5 mana to be able to kill Sporeflow Protector. In response, I think Zoo is going to use Sporeflow Protector's ability, exile both of the Isoliths, and then create a Saproling token. Oh, interesting. It's actually instead exiling Rahoke's Ruiner and Ceaseless. Not sure I agree with that. I guess it's because Ceaseless Discharge has Trample and like is crazy with Incendiary Revel, so that might be the logic. While Rahoke's Ruiner gives Reuben a wide enough board, but ultimately, like, I think that's a mistake because Izalith is just going to be able to search them out anyways. I think at the very least, like, you exile like Rahoke's Ruiner plus. No, it doesn't even make sense to like, because as long as Reuben has like one Izalith engrave, he can go off anyways. Um, and Rahoke's Ruiner is a one of, so yeah, I think you just, yeah, I don't know. Meanwhile, Zoo is actually going to be swinging in with everything. This is probably just going to do 3 damage. Is yeah, I think Zoo was trying to like gamble on Reuben not blocking, and then but then like Reuben would just die then. I don't think, and like it's not like Zoo has any what do you call it? It's not like Zoo has any ability to pump up his creatures to surprise kill the Ashen Persecutor. But yeah, I guess maybe the plan is play Tempered Onclum, burn Reuben for 3. Next turn, Reuben won't be able to block. We'll need like another blocker to be able to block more than 3 damage. And then Zoo's like second thought is like even if Reuben manages to kill my Tempered Onclum, I have Digital Witness to get it back. So it's actually in my best interest that Reuben kills his Tempered Onclum, because then I can like get it back into my hand, recast it, and drain Reuben for his last 3. So I guess Reuben is just going to Incendiary Revel, kill one of these. Oh no, it's going to Incendiary Revel from exile? Oh no. Oh, is paying half. I completely forgot about Fangmarked Cave. So it's a land which enters tap, which Reuben played way back on turn 3. And you can pay half of your life to transform it into this crazy powerful creature, Hakbora the Vicious. Now, when Reuben was at 2 life, paying 1 life to get this crazy creature is very much worth it. However, to Zoo's knowledge, Reuben can't block all the damage here, but Reuben does have instant speed Revel from hand by cracking the pedal. So can kill he's going to kill this Sahai Wayfarer. Then can block Ashen Persecutor, can block the Ashen Persecutor and the Tempered Onclum. The problem is now Zoo just plays Digital Witness and then uploads Tempered Onclum and then downloads it now and then can play it next turn. So Zoo might be thinking, should I play Colonian Tusker instead? And the answer is no. The reason for that is, actually, never mind. I forgot that. I forgot that he did exile the Rahoke's Ruiner, because my thought was if Reuben had a way to like cast Rahoke's Ruiner and then destroy this land, then Zoo wouldn't be able to like download plus cast Tempered Onclum next turn. Oh, but then the problem here is that Reuben does have enough mana to activate Hakbora's ability, so it can attack with Hakbora and then activate its ability to destroy one of Zoo's creatures and gain 3 life, which will still put Reuben out of burn range. So yeah, it's going to attack with Hakbora and then use its ability to destroy the Colonian Tusker. Goes back up to 4 life, barely clinging on here. As weird as it might sound, it might have been better for Zoo to be patient and then try to draw. No. Zoo would need 2 more mana to be able to like play Digital Witness, download it, and play Tempered Onclum in the same turn. So yeah. The weird thing is, despite Reuben being at such low life, I think, yeah, like Zoo is just locked out of winning the game. Because if Zoo ever plays a creature, it just dies. Um, and like Zoo's only out is maybe like drawing, like sequencing a land into um, Tempered Onclem, cast both of them, and then drain Reuben for 6. But then Hakbora has a target to kill in the form of the Digital Witness. And then Digital Witness dying will gain Reuben 3 life. And then Reuben will be up to 7 life, which is out of burn range. So the Hakbora really coming in clutch. Just its ability to lock down the board like that was a big problem for Zoo. And Zoo got so close, though. So I think in game 2, despite like Zoo's deck not having much of a way to interact, the Spore Flows should really help if he draws more of those. Also, Zoo has like a reasonably good clock. It's not as fast as Mono Red, but I think it still puts enough pressure on Reuben that he still might trip up before being able to stabilize. So let's see how it goes. So Reuben insta keeping here. Despite the kind of awkward sequencing with no turn 1 or turn 2 play, Flamestorm is just backbreaking for Zoo's deck. Unfortunately, Zoo is mulling to 5. I guess could just throw away the Sapient Sergeant and the Sahai Wayfarer here, and then keep Plummet for interaction, and then have play. But is bottoming the Plummet? I think bottoming the Plummet is a mistake, because you really want any interaction you can get versus Reuben's deck. But I guess really the only target it hits is the Abyssal Persecutor, so not as useful as it might seem. Also, wow, actually I missed that Reuben's hand also has, or I don't know if he just drew into it, but has Reemergence plus Izalith in the opener, so Reuben just needs a way to bin Izalith and then has the combo. So like, if next turn Reuben top decks Tormenting Voice, can just go off turn 3. We'll hit a Dark Soothsaying instead. Shocking himself is going to be a problem, because next turn he's going to take 6. Has the Flamestorm, but can't cast it yet. So I guess he's going to hold off on the Dark Soothsaying for now. Unfortunately, Zoo can't run out the Tempered Onclem. And probably shouldn't run out the Digital Witness. I can because of Machine Oracle. So he's going to pay 3, Tempered Onclem, drain Reuben for 3, and then swing in for 4. The problem with going this all in is that Reuben next turn just plays a Dragon Skull Summit and plays Flamestorm, and then 4 for 1 Zoo. And then Zoo is like out of things to do while Reuben has the combo. But I guess this is playing to win rather than playing to not lose, because this puts Reuben on a 2-turn clock if he doesn't have a wipe. Unfortunately, Reuben has 2 and can just run out he's going to run out the Flamestorm right here. Zoo still has the Digital Witness to rebuy something, but that's going to be a slow process. And Reuben can just play Eli next turn and then just kind of lock down the entire board from there. So yeah, he's going to download the Tempered Onclem, has another Tempered Onclem in hand. Unfortunately, 4 and 3, and hasn't drawn another land yet. And yeah, Reuben is just going to run out Eli. And yeah, Zoo is just going to concede. That was such a rough start. And that's kind of the problem with Aggro versus Izamergence, is that to avoid being comboed on, you really have to like go pedal to the metal and try to go as fast as possible. But in doing so, you put yourself at the risk of being blown out by the essentially like 8 wipes that Izamergence can play. So good games to both players. Reuben takes it 2-0 over Zoo.